Welcome to Chapter 4 of this masterclass discussion on compliance. My name is Brian Caplen, editor of The Banker. I'm here with Luc Meurant, who is head of banking, markets and compliance service at Swift. And in this final chapter, we're going to look at where compliance is going in the future. So look, we've talked about a lot of different areas of it, but clearly compliance isn't going away. It's probably going to get bigger. I mean, what are the big issues now on the horizon?
I completely agree. I think you can expect many more things. I would say, unfortunately, but that's the way it will be. So we already have a number of things in the pipeline. We will announce very shortly a new service which we call compliance analytics, where the whole idea there is really to help a bank analyze its own international traffic. You could argue that banks should have that information. In some cases they do, but actually the challenge for banks is to collect the information from their various subsidiaries, from their various systems.
And this is the traffic that's on Swift already.
Correct, yes.
But they're not analysing it, but you're actually going to give them a system where they can.
Exactly. And you know, it's tricky because, you know, we want to help them detect what is unexpected. But to detect something which is unexpected, you need at least two things. First, you need to get access to your information, which we are going to do, but also you need to be able to compare versus what's happening in industry, which we can also provide as Swift because those information we have. So you can put things in context and help banks detect patterns which are unexpected. But
there's presumably a bit of a confidentiality issue here, is there, that you don't give someone else's traffic away?
Absolutely. So that's a basic principle. We'll never give to a bank the traffic of another bank. But this is about helping a bank with its own traffic and putting that into the context of industry traffic figures, which we can disclose.
All right, and what precisely will this show the banks then when they've got hold of this information?
Well, you could really see, for instance, whether there is a sudden surge in the activity of one of your correspondents or coming from one of your subsidiaries. So something really, why is this traffic growing all of a sudden? Or why is this traffic dropping all of a sudden? So in isolation. But also you could start to see whether your market share in some countries is increasing dramatically, whether you might be what we call the last man standing in a specific corridor. So all this kind of information you will be able to see. And then the banks will also be able to put some alerts that will trigger some notification to them when we see something in their traffic activities, which according to the alerts that they have defined is unexpected. So all that will be possible.
So we talked a lot about banks, but there's also a challenge, isn't there, for jurisdictions? And we have situations with the Financial Action Task Force where it can actually, you know, highlight the activities of a whole country in terms of usually tax avoidance. Is that something that Swift can help with or you're concerned about?
Well, I think we need to remain humble about that, but clearly we can contribute to that. So basically nobody wants to be listed on those FATF high-risk jurisdictions. So when a country ends up in that category, what they try to do is to show to the rest of the world that actually they are taking measures to kind of get out of that. And you know, using the SWIFT service can be part of those measures. Is that enough? No, because you need a lot of policy changes as well within the country to really fight against financial crime. But if you get the tools available and if you enforce the usage of those tools within your own community as a domestic country, clearly that contributes to moving the right direction.
Because I think I'm right in saying that Ghana is one country that has successfully used that mechanism to get itself out of difficulties in this area. Is that right?
Absolutely. So, and again, let's remain humble. Ghana did a lot of things, but one of them was indeed to kind of encourage the whole community in Ghana to use the SWIFT services on the financial crimes prevention side as a way to really kind of raise up the standard in terms of fighting against financial crime.
Okay. And now we talked about sanctions compliance. But I think there's another level, isn't there, where you can actually test out how effective you're being in that area.
Correct. So basically we are working on sanction screening, but we're also working on sanction testing because we realize that for large banks we are not ready at this stage to help them with sanction screening, but what we can do and what we are doing is to help them with sanction testing. So this time what we are trying to do is to provide some sort of quality assurance of the well-functioning of their filters. So that's a kind of service that basically help banks test the effectiveness and efficiency of their filters by generating a lot of test cases and letting the bank see, you know, the results of those test cases on their own filters. Very successful kind of service in the sense that it provides an independent view of the functioning of your own system, both from an effectiveness perspective, are you catching the names that you should, but also from an efficiency, you know, how many false positives do you trigger while trying to catch those names.
Okay, look, thanks very much for sharing all these initiatives with us, and it sounds like you're going to be extremely busy in the future.
Thank you very much.